Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 8 Death Star. This is basically a 183 brought down in the Tier 8, and then Wargaming said, well, we can't obviously give this thing a 900 alpha gun, because that would be stupid. So what we should do is split that 900 alpha into 3 shells and make it an autoloader. And not only is it an autoloader, it's a Hesh firing autoloader. In today's video, I'll be letting you know everything you're going to want to about the Death Star, its overall capabilities, and why this is still one of the most dumb Tier 8 in the game. A lot of people look at the GSOR 1008 and think that thing's overpowered, but trust me, this vehicle's in an entirely different league. If we take a look at the gun, it's got so many good values going for it. Solid aiming time, good accuracy, great DPM at 2600, and most importantly, only a 2.2 second intraclip for 310 damage per shot. And that means in just 4.4 seconds, this vehicle is able to deal 930 damage. But if that wasn't enough for you, it also has Hesh, which does 370 damage per shot. That is 1110 damage in 4.4 seconds. And if for some reason you're able to pen the standard HE, that's actually 1260 damage. So yeah, this thing does crazy levels of damage. And by the way, it's fast. It goes 46. It's got a power to weight ratio almost at 20. So this thing has medium tank levels of mobility, a gun which is incredibly unforgiving, and overall one of the most dangerous tier 8s. And I should also mention it has decent camo values at almost 80% when sitting still. So yeah, the Death Star, that's one of those vehicles that Wargaming hasn't really sold much. In fact, it's only been available one time, which was during the season event. Now, I do expect that this vehicle will go for sale again in the future. Realistically, they're going to release it alongside all the other season, what, 3 was this? I don't know exactly what season it was, but they're going to release this tank alongside the other season vehicles, and you'll probably have to buy the currency to upgrade them. It won't be cheap, but this is definitely a tank I would consider getting your hands on because of how incredibly dumb it is. So let's see what we can do in this first battle. We are going to start by looking at the lineup. The enemy team only has 2 heavies, which means that realistically, we're going to see more going on over on the medium flank. However, our team is playing pretty aggressive over here. I'm going to push all the way up to this bush. This is a pretty good early game spot because it allows you to detect anything that pushes over there, and it allows you to see if the enemy's going here to begin with. So it's a pretty chill position. There you go. We've spotted the enemy Chiri. That's obviously pretty nice. Hopefully that player gets bled a bit. I'm just going to poke this bush again, see if anything else gets detected. So far, not much. We can see the BZ and the Visante on the other flank of the map as well. Well, there you go. Still got the Chiri detected back there. What is happening? Well, we got the enemy Rompanzer, and let's go for the Rompanzer's track wheel. There's 1 pen, there's 2 pens, and 3. Yep. Just like that, we took 928 health off that Rompanzer. And what was a full health medium is now 580 hit points. This is why the position I'm in currently is really, really dangerous, because you're allowed to work the spot and just get out those nasty bleeds. Now we have the T-49, which we get a 390 damage shell into, a 387 damage shell, and a 385. We just brought a full health tank to 83 hit points, and now they're dead. We've dealt over 2,100 damage in this game, and we just reload. 5 seconds, I have my shells again. I think you're starting to understand why I consider this tank to be so broken. Like, it's incredibly dumb. Now, that tree is knocked down over there, which leads me to believe that the Chiri... Oh, well, the Chiri's right in front of us. We got 1 pen into the Chiri, 2 pens into the Chiri, and 3. Somehow that Chiri managed to bounce me with every single shell. That's pretty tragic. Alright, well, let's just move up. There you go. Chiri gets shot, and they're dead. Alright, well, that's pretty easy. We are already up to 2,800 damage anyway, so it's not like I really have to worry. The enemy team has 5 tanks left, and we can see all 5 of them spotted, actually. Okay, well, I'm going to move right over here. We're going to aim it on the side of the BZ. There you go, 320. Boom, 141, and that player's taken out of the game. Alright, reloading again. 14 seconds, we'll have all 3 of my shells back. It's just so dumb. Alright, well, we got the Dracula in the front. and I'm just waiting. I got a teeny bit longer left. That player's dead, and I'm pretty sure the Vipera dumped his shells into my teammate, which means I can get a penetrating Hess shell once. We can go for a second pending shell, and there you go. 3 shells in a row, and just like that, the enemy team is cooked. They're absolutely cooked. We've dealt 4,000 damage. I just need to wait 10 seconds for my shells to come back. I'm more worried about the Bisante than the Rompanzer, of course. We're just going to waste this Rompanzer's time, and now that they've shot, I can push up, and we have our shells, so we'll just overdrive. Oh, well, good thing we have multiple shells, huh? Bonk. Oh, thank you, Wargaming. Bye-bye. We have 3 shots, so it's not like I really have to be worried about 1 or 2 of mine missing, but it can be a little bit disappointing when you have RNG like that. Alright, well the SU-130 gets the clear into the enemy Bisante, and just like that, there's only 1 tank left, which is the SU-122, which we get a 90 damage clear into. 4,364 damage, 4 kills, and one of the easiest victories of the day. It's a crazy tank. I mean, obviously we were up against players who didn't use the most of their intellect, but it really doesn't change the fact that no other tier 8 would have been able to do what I did in this short amount of time. I mean, that T-49 alone, in just 4.4 seconds, I was able to strip 1,165 health from, and that's crazy. That's not even mentioning all the other damage we did to the Rompanzer, to the Vipera. I mean, how do you counter a tank that just does that much damage? And because it has accuracy and mobility, it's not like you can escape this thing either, right? I mean, I played this thing really aggressive on the medium flank that game, as you saw, and because I have the mobility to get away with it, I don't really have to worry. So here we are, Yamato Harbor. Up against us, we do have 2 tier 9s, being a Mouse tank and a Gonkevita. But we'll see what we can do. We got a Skoda T56, T77. Okay, so they have 2 heavies, and then they got a bunch of mediums. So I'm probably going to go over towards the medium flank to begin with, and we'll see if I can support my team over here first. Let's hope that our mediums do some spotting. Of course, our 92E1 isn't, but that's just classic Blitz. Oh, great. What's the point of driving a medium tank if you're not actually going to do anything on the medium flank? Like, brother, I don't get it. And it's really disappointing for me because the whole point of my tank is to support my team. But when you have a herd breaker and a T92E1 who want to camp and spawn immediately, it's pointless, right? It's absolutely pointless. And it ends up hurting me because it's my job as a TD to do the support. But oh well. Oh well. We're going to head over here and we'll see if I can deal some damage. I mean, we know for a fact that... Oh, wait, the Skoda's moving up? Interesting. Oh, okay, or not. Or I will get bad RNG. Alright, well, we'll move up a bit. And I'm hoping that we can maybe get behind the Gonk. That would be really nice. Obviously, they still have a lot of tanks which are unaccounted for, so I have to be a little careful, but if I can reload just a little bit longer, here we go, and I get to the side of this player. There's 299... There's 377, and boom, 384. That was 1,060 damage dealt to that Gonk. That was over half his health in 4.4 seconds. Yes, autoloaders are good for the game. Alright, well, we got 5 seconds left for our shells to come back. We got the SU-130 on the flank. And there you go, SU-130 shoots, which means I can miss the first shell on the Prague. Get 1 pen into the enemy Skoda, and load a Hesh. And pen the second shell for 400 damage onto that Skoda. Even with those 2 shells only penning, I still did like 800 damage to that player. Obviously, the Skoda T56 is cooked, so at this point, I'm going to push behind the Progetto. I'm going to ignore the Mouse tank. Here we go. Nice. And we get 1 pen into the Progetto for 385. We bounce the second shell, but doesn't matter. He's dead anyway. T49 is obviously a scary tank. I don't want to be shot by that, so we're going to back up. Got the RU, the T49. They still have quite a few vehicles, but how does our herd breaker bounce? Oh my god, my team's just bad. Alright, well, I got my shells, so I don't need to worry too much about that anymore. See if I can maybe deal some damage to the Mouse tank or something like that. I'm going to head all the way over here. And Yeah, let's see if I can get some damage into these players. Got the T-77, which we get a 360 damage pen into. We get a 320, and I'm going to load a Hesh into the lower plate of the mouse tank because I can guaranteed pen that. We're already over 3,000 damage at this point, and the enemy team only has 3 tanks left. Okay, well, we got to wait just a little bit longer for our reload. And let's see if we can get this T-49 shot. Oh, the T-49's all the way over there. Okay. Well, I'm going to put on my speed boost. I'm going to ignore the T-77, and we're going to take out the RU. Boom, 341. Boom, 419. And boom. There you go. That player's out of the game. I'm not sure why this T-77 wants me so bad. Do you see that guy? He was really gunning for me. But there you go, 2 games, another 4,000 damage victory for the second battle played in this tank. The thing about this vehicle is that when you make a misplay, it really just does so good. Another ace, another top finishing game. Like, we can see in the statistics here that I did 1,060 to that Gonk. And the tank only has like 1,800 health, so we did over half of its health in just that short amount of time. 2 shots into the Skoda, 734 damage. We penned the enemy T-77 with 2 for 684, and then we hit the mouse tank for another 325. I mean, that is where this vehicle is just so scary, is that it literally does the same damage as a 183. A 183 Hesh shell is like 1,290 damage, and this tank can deal 1,110, 2 tiers lower, with better accuracy, amazing mobility, much better camouflage. I mean, this thing is crazy. It's like the OG 4005 that had the 3-shell 460 Alpha, just at tier 8. So here we are, we're on Molenbeek. Up against us, we got a KV5, Scepter, and an FV201 on the heavy flank. Now, I'm probably going to start this game by heading towards the medium side, and I'm going to support that flank. Mainly because, A, we have more mediums than we do heavies, but B, the enemy team heavies are kind of scary, and I don't want to put myself in a position where they bleed me out, right? The FV201, even though it's a tier 7, has 3k DPM. The Scepter has 3 shells of 900 clipping potential, so you got to be really careful about that. So to begin this game, we're going to chill right here, and we'll see if anything gets spotted. There you go. We have the enemy Chiri. We got 1 pen into that player, 2 pens into that player. That's still half that tank's health and 600 damage to my title. Alright, well, we back up, we reload. I'm not sure what our FV301's doing, especially because nobody's covering right now, but I still gotta wait 5 more seconds before I have my shots. We're definitely unspotted, though. Good job, FV301. Welcome to the NA server, ladies and gentlemen. Good news is that at least our Kilana and Centurion are moving up, and I'm going to take some quick blind shots at that SU-130. There's 1, 2, and might as well take a third. No clue if any of those hit, but, I mean, there's not much else to really do right now. I could try and support... Oh, I did hit the SU, I think. Unless the Kilana hit, but it's very possible I did hit that. Alright, let's see if I can help out my T-34. That player is definitely in a bit of a pickle right now, and I can get up on this ridge here, which is pretty tall, and I can potentially overlook and support this teammate just a teeny bit, potentially. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm aiming in now on the KV5 hatch, and... There's 1 pen. Oh, that one bounced. We got 1 more chance. There you go. Nice. It's still 600 hit points off the enemy KV5, and it definitely, you know, takes that player down a little bit of its pushing potential. Now we're going to flex back. Look at the mobility on this thing, though. I mean, not many tank destroyers can boast that they go 40 kilometers per hour with this level of mobility. It's so nice to be able to just reposition after dealing damage. So we got the CS-44, and... I don't know. This team doesn't look like they're doing too well. I'm going to be honest. This team looks like they're doing pretty dang poor. I'm going to try and get all the way to this far corner here. And we'll see if I can get some bleeds into the KV or something. Maybe the WZ-120 in mid. Let's see. Keep on going. Keep on going. Alright, so we do have the WZ there. And that player is kind of just obliterating my teammate. Not able to get a shell out. That sucks. Oh, we got the KV5 all the way on the flank. And the Scepter there. Alright, well, let's see. We got the Lorraine. I mean, this game's 100% cooked. There's only so much I can do. There's 1 pen into the enemy Lorraine. 2 pens into Lorraine. That's a lot of damage into that player. But now we got a reverse. And this tank's obviously not too fast at reversing. Yeah, really. That dude hit that shot on me there? Like, what is that? That's so cringe. It's fine. We're still alive. And, again, it's not going to make a difference whether I pen those shots or not. This team is terrible. If I move all the way over here, it's very possible I can clear that FE201, which we do right there. That player's out of the game. Put on my reload, and maybe I can go and get that KV5 taken out. There's the KV spotted. I need to back up, and I'm hoping that I can push that KV5. I think that's the best play for me to make right now. So that's what I'm going to try and do. We're going to move all the way over here, keep on going, and come on. Oh, am I spotted? Of course I am, dude. Was really hoping I wouldn't get spotted from that KV, but unfortunately, their fat frickin' turret was able to see me. Alright. I'm just going to roll around the corner, honestly. I think that's the best play to make. Of course, they light me on fire. But there's one pen into the enemy KV5, two pens into the KV5, and I've taken that player out of the game. We've still done pretty good damage this game. We're up to 2,600, which is obviously pretty solid, but that Lorraine was able to clear me. If I didn't get lit on fire, I probably could have survived the shell from the Lorraine, which is a bit of a bummer. But at the end of the day, there's not much you can do when your teams suck, right? We still did pretty good. We did 2,600 damage, which is 100% top on the team. Keylana did okay, but I don't know what the heck our FE301 was doing, YOLOing right in the beginning and killing themselves. As I always say, when your medium flank loses, you lose the whole game. The heavies dying aren't that big of a deal. I can deal with a heavy flank. I cannot deal with mediums that can rush me like the Lorraine, right? I mean, our team just allowed that player to just farm and farm and farm. And when that happens, there's just nothing you can do. So it's whatever, you know, sometimes you get bad teams and there's not much you can do about them, especially in tank destroyers. TDs are by far the hardest class of vehicle to carry bad teams in, and the major reason why is because they are super duper team reliant. So that's about as simple as it is. Either way, we are on our last game, and this one is an interesting map because Alpenstadt's good for heavies, and it's great for mediums, but not necessarily an amazing map for tank destroyers. So what am I going to do? Well, it looks like our two heavies, for some reason, are going this flank. So we are going to start by moving over to this hill up top, and we're going to see if we can get some early game shots. Again, we have the mobility to do so, so it's quite nice in that regard, and because this thing has really good camo, I don't need to worry too much. But of course, our lights are YOLOing once again right in the beginning for literally no reason. Missed the first shell into the enemy AMX. We do hit the second one, though, so at least we got a little bit of damage out, and now we reload. I don't know what our LTG is doing. I really don't. We're just sitting here and watching him kill himself. Got the SU-130 in the back. Oh, the AMX is dead. Alright, we got a little bit longer left on our reload. 3, 2, 1. Got the SU-130 over there. We got the T-49. I'm hoping that SU-130 decides to back up at some point. There you go. We got one pen into the T-49. It's not too bad. Is the T-49 going to continue leaving? Indeed. Shell just did not go exactly where I wanted it to. Okay, well, got a couple options here. And my options are overlook the base or rush the SU-130. And I think actually what we're going to do is overlook the base. If I head all the way over into the corner over here, it's possible that I can look into this cap and support my team. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm going to head all the way over here. And there you go. Aiming. Nope, that one did not reset the base. That one did not either, but at least we can get the clear into the Keylana. There you go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, we got 12 seconds left. Let's hope that our Yo doesn't spot until I get my reload back. There's the IS right in front. Come on, reload. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. I have a feeling that the IS will fall back in a moment, but we'll see. We will see. There's the IS falling back. They just shot. Are they going to fall back? Yeah, here they go. I'm just hoping that they drive right into me, and that would be perfect. Come on, keep backing up. Yes, 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 yes. Keep backing up, just like that. And boom. There's one shell into the IS. Let's load a high explosive, which misses, and there you go. That's still pretty good damage into that player. We just took that full health IS down quite a sizable amount, and that's obviously going to stop them from doing most of what they want to. Luva is still alive, which is important, and because of that, I'm going to be able to push up and help this player. So let's use that speed right now that this thing has. Smasher needs to shoot. Once the Smasher shoots, I'm pretty good. There you go. Smasher just shot and bounced his shell. Good job, dude. Alright, so we have the enemy 53 TP. We bounce the first shot. Thank you, RNG. We pen the second shell, and we load in a standard to get the clear. So pretty good stuff. We are up to 2,000 damage now. The enemy Smasher is 100% cooked because the Gowica is going to push him and get the clear. So I'm going to ignore that And we're going to try and find the T-49 and Su-130. There's the Su, who's, for some reason, rushing the IS-3 Defender. Not really sure what the thought process is there, but, yeah, he's cooked either way. There you go. Easy clear. That leaves us with only one tank left, the enemy T-49, which we're going to try and push right now. Will we be able to get damage into this player? Well, we're going to find out. Let's keep going. I have a feeling the T-49 is going to run right here. Boom. There's a 318, and boom. A 28 damage shell to finish off the game. So overall, we had a pretty enjoyable experience in the Death Star. We played 4 games. We won 3 out of the 4. And we did really good damage in all of the games. I mean, this was the worst game we played, and it was still 2,500. Overall, we probably averaged over 3k from the 4,000 damage games we played as well. But you can see why this thing is so nice. The gun is super accurate. The shell velocity is really the only thing that's kind of mid. But technically, you can run Supercharger, and then you don't have to worry about the bad shell velocity. So it's not even that big of a deal. In general, though, the Death Star is just... It's an incredibly dangerous tank, and it's not a vehicle that you want to mess with in any regard. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.